Well, we're doing Death Battle again. I guess it's time to start doing some reaction videos again. I kind of skipped the first few since the Death Battle revival, but Bowser Koopa versus Dr. Robotnik, how can I miss this? So yeah, I don't know who to root for, because I grew up with Bowser, and even though I was a latecomer to Sonic, I have kept up more with Sonic than with Mario. It's like, somehow Super Mario Sunshine left a bigger hole in my heart than Sonic 2006. Make of that what you will, but I think Dr. Robotnik is a bit more ruthless. He did take over the world once, and there was a time, like after Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Advance 3, where he did work with Sonic. I think maybe there's hope for this guy, but then, just like in Sonic Advance 3 with Sonic Unleashed, he broke apart the world again, and then all the shit in Forces, and just showing what a triangulating sleazeball he is in Lost World. It's like, screw it, this guy's beyond redemption. So, I don't know. He's the smarter of the two, but that's not always a guaranteed win in Death Battle. Just ask Gamera and Michael Myers. So screw it, let's go. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Fight! Bowser versus Dr. Eggman.
The king of the Koopas and the baddest of badniks. And they're not alone.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's
Welcome
our
back,
job to analyze
guys.
their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
It's an alien from Unleashed, huh?
Ah, the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yay,
a
movie
peaceful
footage!
land of kindness, adventure, love.
Ah, boring. Move aside, princess. It's time to
Alright,
start
but they have to show the old
round.
cartoon
Here
Bowser.
comes King Koopa himself, better known as Bowser.
The
Yeah,
moment
exactly.
this orphan star child was found by Kamek, it was clear Bowser would command the disparate outcasts of the Mushroom world. The Koopa Clan.
Sadly, not everyone's born a toad,
Yay,
and they
Mario's
treat these
RPG
critters
remake.
like monsters, fated to a life of infinite jump farming for one-ups.
I could never pull that off.
Bowser wanted a different world, but Princess Peach Toadstool would never allow the evil king's day in the sun. Her light was so bright, Bowser became infatuated
And they
with her.
show
So he turned all the toads
Peach
into bricks and
Toadstool
kidnapped
from
her,
the
putting
old
their princess in
Super
another
Mario
castle,
comic
and
from Nintendo
another,
Power.
and another, like 40 years of castles, only to be released if she agrees to marry him and his dad bod.
Yet he was foiled time and time again by those
I'm not a guy that
pesky
doesn't know
Mario
his
brothers.
boundaries.
However, Bowser is nothing if not persistent.
Look at him! Dude's built like a brick house strapped to a saw trap. That spiked shell takes a lot of punishment. Not even the weight of a castle can scratch it.
I did play that
Especially when
way.
he rolls up
New
like
Super
a
Mario Brothers
prehistoric
3.
Beyblade.
And the Koopa King doesn't just breathe fire and control lava, he commands nature itself.
Spitting meteors
Yeah,
from outer
fart
space,
cloud.
hitting the earth with a snap, inhaling
Beware my
cords
power,
of wind,
Brown
and
Lantern's
straight up calling
blight.
down lightning. What else has he got?
Oh, just a little dabbling in dark magic.
Hell yeah, Wizard Turtle.
The original NES
don't show
manual
me the
even
cartoon
describes him
again.
as
I
a
love that
sorcerer
cartoon
king.
as a kid. I
Magic
was
is how he
stupid,
turned the
stupid
toads into
child.
bricks, only countered by the princess's heart magic.
But that's not all the magic he's mastered. Telekinesis, creating perfect clones, reanimating his undead skeleton, and worst of all, ruining every game of Mario Party. Hey, no! I stole those coins fair and square!
Bowser spent decades hoarding treasures, coins, magic star rods, warships, clown cars, you name it. This is the same guy that created multiple flying castles fashioned after his own face.
Yeah, he's definitely got an ego on him. He's talked about having a 4-digit IQ, but I've seen this moron put death traps in his own backyard. A man after my own heart.
Despite his clumsiness,
Never
Bowser's
changed,
charisma and
Boomstick.
leadership brought many to his side. Not enough to defeat Mario, but his army doesn't make it easy on the Red Plumber.
They're the most wicked band of misfits this side of World 8-4. The Koopa Troop.
An army spanning multiple territories across the Mushroom world and beyond.
Goombas, Koopas, the Troopas, and the others make up the infantry. Some with wings, some in shoes, and some even in race cars.
The
They're the
Korean-
red shirts.
Wait, was
first
that Isabel?
and first out.
Piranha plants,
I never
bloopers, and
really played Animal
lakitus use their
Crossing.
surroundings to
Or
get the
Doom, for
jump
that
on
matter.
unsuspecting prey, by land, sea, or sky.
We'd be here forever jotting down the small fries. Booze, shy guys, sentient bombs with feet, and more.
It was imperative for Bowser to nurture a unit that covers their own vulnerabilities. For example, Kamek and King Boo both have magic, but Boo has battlefield control with illusions and destabilizing dimensions, while Kamek focuses on buffing allies, canceling enemy powers, summoning anything he desires.
Or swapping my items to screw up my Mario Party lead. Not again.
Speaking of items, most of the minions can use pretty much any power-up Mario can. The Goombas make frequent use of Tanuki tails, and Bowser can really get into the cat roleplay. But as the Koopa Troop grew and grew, it started to feel less like an army and more like a family unit.
Oh, you mean like his kids, the Koopalings?
They're adopted.
What's the difference?
Good point. Bowser took them in and even trained them in
That's
dark
the same
magic.
league
No
as
one's as
making
spoiled as
Quicksilver and
his
Scarlet,
natural
which
Nepo
not
baby
Maggie Jones'
Bowser Jr.,
children.
captain of the Koopa Troop.
Spoiled is an understatement. Remember his escapades as Shadow Mario? He terrorized
I don't
Rufino
want
Plaza
to.
with literal evil paint. That whole debacle was basically his attempt at elementary school art class.
And I bet Bowser still has some on the fridge. But really, the king is very protective of his kids. If the fam's in trouble, he can will himself to transform into a giant kaiju, all to crush whatever bullies target smack.
Get a Jaeger ready to protect
Overkill.
a city of
Just
2
one
million
punch from
people.
Giant Bowser launched a castle out of orbit. Taking into account the flight path and the scale of their universe, Bowser's punch must have hit with a force of over 125 trillion tons of TNT. Considering how Yoshi punted poor Raphael the Raven so hard he exploded into a constellation of stars, this isn't even close to Bowser's full strength.
So don't bully his kid, especially if he falls into some of Bowser Jr.'s set of black paint. That stuff's scary.
Enough to unleash Bowser's Dark Fury, a form whose very steps cause widespread natural disaster.
So basically,
Okay, seriously,
equivalent
how
of
does
Bullbreaker
Mario
Hulk.
ever beat this guy? He's like Godzilla, Doctor Strange, and John Cena all in one big turtle.
We're not even to the best part. Bowser's dark magic became so potent he eventually learned how to warp the very fabric of reality.
Anything the king imagines, he makes happen. He turned all of Yoshi's Island into a storybook. And remember those painted worlds in Mario 64? Yeah, he made those. And the staircase that goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Oh, God,
Just
does
use
he know how
that
to
LBJ.
He also stole ultra-powerful items like the Wonder Flower, which can mold
Yeah, the one
reality like
backwards, Joe.
Play-Doh, and the Dream Stone, which can be used to wish someone out of existence.
But his most iconic thefts are those big shiny power stars.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Infant power stars, aka Lumas, can become whole galaxies. They also ferried Mario across the universe in 3 seconds. That's 489 quadrillion times
I guess I
light
missed a
speed.
whole lot. not
Obviously,
playing
the
two
Big Daddy
Galaxy
Grand
games.
Stars are even crazier. Bowser used one to power his space kingdom, but
Yeah,
then
my
guess who
suspicion
showed
that
up
Robotnik's
to
gonna
ruin
be
everything?
overpowered.
It's
Yeah,
him.
And when the Grand Star was freed,
Starting to
it
look more
caused a
likely.
chain reaction that destroyed the entire universe via a massive black hole.
Thanks, Space God, that Rosalina showed up to save the day.
Not that Bowser needed saving. He's been swallowed by another black hole and thrown into a star that went supernova.
Imagine if this crazy OP fire turtle had to fight himself. Oh, wait, he did, and he beat the hell out of him.
With all this power, it's a wonder he still hasn't conquered the Mushroom Kingdom. Perhaps it's because his visions of grandeur were never really what he sought. Surrounding him is a crew of outcasts and miscreants like him, ride or dies that can't be swayed against him.
Oh, are you saying he's secretly happy because he's got a big monster family now?
Yes, but also when they actually worked together, they legitimately conquered most of the known universe. So,
He's a
Okay.
baddie through and
Okay,
through,
Robotnik
who will
conquered
teleport through
Earth
space
by
and time to show
Bowser
you
conquered a
what's what.
universe.
Because
Yeah, I
he's
think
no ordinary
Bowser's got
Koopa.
this.
Make way for the king.
I was kind of slightly...
citizens of
putting
Earth,
more of
lend me your ears.
Amen when
Imagine a world of endless
Sonic Adventure
possibility
2, I
where people
prefer
are free as the wind.
over any
Isn't
regular
it
Mario game,
disgusting?
but then again,
Now
Yoshi's Island
imagine
is one
a
of my absolute
better
favorite
world,
games ever.
one with
so
proper guidance and the technology to bring
I
about
don't know where I'm going
global
with this.
peace.
But whiz, only a brilliant mind can make that happen.
Not just any brilliant mind, he's a genius at heart who knows the dangers within. He's Ivo Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman.
As a
That's
mad
right, both
scientist
names aren't
myself, his
canon.
story is my inspiration, just as Eggman's was his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, who sought to create world peace through technology. But then his beloved granddaughter, Maria, was killed by the Guardian Unit of Nations, better known as...
Gun. They're frickin' called G-U-N. Anyway, Lil Eggman
Even the
grew up a
movies
lonely narcissist
lampshaded
because
that.
all his family talked about was Maria this, Maria that. Boo-hoo!
Neglect and envy tainted Ivo's goals of following Gerald's footsteps. He distanced himself from his grandfather's legacy. Instead of bettering the world, he would conquer it to get the attention he deserved.
No, you mean craved. Desperately craved.
Tomato, tomato.
You just said it the same way twice.
He aimed to establish Eggman Land, a capital
His
of
boomstick
science.
never changed.
And this paradise would have worked just fine if not for that blasted
As
Sonic
much as I
Hedgehog.
liked
For
Unleashed,
years,
that level
Eggman's
was
plan
ass.
literally blew
And they had
up
to
in
bring
his
that fucking
face.
bobsled
And
level
he's
back.
a very sore loser.
But just like any good experiment, the Doctor did more testing, seeking better results.
He's created plenty of knickknacks to terrorize the world with. A laser gun, a cloning ray, mind control cannons, a flying armada, typical evil scientist stuff.
Then there's the
That
big
was the
ones.
impressive
He
part of
invented
Sonic
a
Heroes,
spatial
the
displacement
Armada.
trap, which, while online, scatters a target's atoms across space. Oh, and then there's the metal virus, which transmutes organic tissue into living metal zombies. It's so deadly, it created a plague that nearly wiped out all life on Earth.
Shame Eggman never made himself immune to it. That's a whoopsie.
And when he's not duping you with decoys, he's riding in style with the Eggmobile. It's lightweight for maneuverability, but tough enough to withstand moon-sized explosions and even the center of a black hole.
I mean, it's kinda lame looking, but he can plug it into big bad mechs like the Egg Walker or the Death Egg Robot, whose giant laser once obliterated
I would
77,000
love to see a
cubic
Power Wash
meters of rock in
Simulator
an instant.
level where
That's
you
like
clean
having
off
an
that big
atomic
robot.
bomb in your pocket all the time.
Oh no,
okay,
Sonic
maybe this guy's pretty
2006
cool.
footage.
Eggman built machines for a long list of combat situations. Some look like knights, others use extraterrestrial sources like the Wisps, and then there's the orbital bases, like the Death Egg.
The reference is obvious, but Darth Vader's version is like a toy compared to the Death Egg, which can annihilate stars. Woof! A whole constellation gone in one shot.
That's not to say Eggman doesn't enjoy scrapping with blue hedgehogs himself. Enter the Egg Dragoon.
Hell yeah! The rawest of
That
the battle
was a
mechs.
cool
It's
fight.
got electric drills. It's got ice missiles. It's got a whole lot of bullets. My God, Wiz. I need it.
And don't forget, Eggman built all of these things himself. Maybe world domination is in his grasp yet.
One problem. Eggman's a turbo loner. No hobbies, no friends, no wife, no nothing.
Come on, he has friends. I mean, he's a feminist. Oh, okay, maybe not, but what about Infinite? Sure, they might have joined forces.
No,
over a
he
mutually
heated his
sought
ass
revenge
once it
against
looked
Shadow,
like
but
he was
it
going to
counts,
betray him just
sort
like
of. Who needs friends
chaos
when he can build
and-
friends?
Obviously, Eggman
Dark
has a tough
guy,
time
and-
collaborating with others, so he just built his own army instead.
The Eggman Empire.
Oh, yeah, the
The
Deadly
Badniks
Six.
are mass-produced
Yeah.
foot soldiers,
They were
buzz
very
bombers, crab meats,
compelling.
caterpillars, egg robos, and don't forget those cute little moto bugs. The Badniks may seem simple, but they're led by an elite, multi-talented unit, the hard-boiled heavies. Really leaning into the egg thing, huh?
The army has a wide variety of troops, even your classic comedy duo with Orbot and Cubot. They're Eggman's assistants and immense disappointments. Every genius has their duds.
Hey, at least they're not Scratch and Grounder. But that's why he's made top-notch bots
Bars!
for the Sonic cast, like
Boomstick.
everyone's favorite Robo-Faker, Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic has the most horsepower in the Eggman Empire. He has the moves and speed of Sonic and then some. He's had his rebellious phases, but Eggman's reprogrammed Metal to better follow his commands. Additionally, when upgraded to his Neo form, Metal Sonic could copy biological data, including unique powers like Shadow's time stop technique, Chaos Control.
He could even copy Silver's psychokinesis, and with enough chaos energy, he powers up into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Though everything would change with the appearance of the Phantom Ruby. One of many trump cards at Eggman's disposal, the Phantom Ruby alters reality by manipulating perception.
introducing
Basically,
Sonic
Super
Mania,
OP
wasn't it? I
illusions, but in
still gotta
Infinite's
play that
hands, it's a
one.
weapon of mass destruction. I don't know how illusions translate to body replicas, changing gravity, or making a fake sun, but go off, King!
And when used on the planet's consciousness, which is a thing, the Ruby granted Eggman the Lightman form. Yep, apparently Super Eggman is canon, though it is pretty complicated to manifest.
But the Phantom Ruby isn't the only souped-up gem Eggman has. He's used the Jeweled Scepter to make the world-shattering Egg Wizard. Then, on more than one occasion, he's effortlessly gathered the super rare, super powerful Chaos Emeralds. You know, the things that power Super Saiyan Hedgehog.
Eggman built and built and built, and eventually, he built something that started to build on him. Sage was originally designed as a mere assistant, but through an alien encounter, she was granted actual sentience.
Sage is already super powerful, but now she's also super smart. She thought up millions of battle plans all at once to defeat the massive titans.
And you can barely remember where you put your dune bug.
I know exactly where it is. It's
Don't
at
ask
the
me, why does
police
Shadow need a
impound. Thank you
motorcycle
very
when he
much.
can practically
Sage was
run
Eggman's
faster than
saving
light?
grace. He had previously found machines with personality lacking, but Sage's great adequacy in serving her function provided Eggman with something that, for the first time, he'd hate to lose. In essence, a sort of daughter.
So, like any good dad, he gave her the keys to his car, his spaceship, and his orbital death ray. Hell, now she controls the entire army.
And this frankly unheard of trust from Eggman became crucial in defeating the End, a primordial entity so mighty even Supersonic struggled against it.
Their battle can only be described as peak fiction, because charged by 7 Chaos Emeralds, Supersonic's no joke.
The power of one emerald can shift continents. All 7 together can shift the universe.
And kill some pretty terrifying bosses, like Eggman's Time Eater, which ripped apart space-time like tissue paper.
In short, Chaos Emeralds give thoughts power. With them, Eggman's best machines can run indefinitely while matching the greatest powers ever seen. Like when 3 supers battled Solaris, who tried to destroy time itself. Solaris extended its chaos across multiple timelines in about 20 seconds, or 73 quadrillion times light speed.
It's funny though, while Eggman's smarts have sort of defeated Sonic here and there, he's pretty effective when he teams up with the Blue Blur to save the world.
Well, recall how
This is why
Professor Gerald was a good
disappointed I
person
was
before
after
losing
Sonic
the
Adventure
granddaughter he
2.
loved. In Eggman's case, now that he has Sage, perhaps a similar story is playing out in reverse.
I'm not holding my breath, though.
Nah, Eggy will always have a harebrained scheme behind his cufflinks.
So watch out, critters and plebeians of the world. He is the Eggman, and he's got the master plan. All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
Oh, they showed both their live-action movie versions. Cute. I do have a soft spot for the old Mario movie. Speaking of movies... Operation Catfish?
Make an announcement. This territory is now the base for my upcoming Eggman Land 2. What a joke! I am Dr. Eggman, your new genius overlord.
This sounds nasty. Almost like they got Jim Cummings back. Here we go!
Shut up, nerd!
I mean, short work of the Dragoon. Of course.
These toys an invasion force? Let's see Toads do better. That's a decoy, idiot!
His power is without peer. It is the ultimate strength.
Okay, Infinite is not a very good villain. Let's just leave it at that. Metal Sonic. Well, Metal Sonic couldn't beat Zero, so...
Chance time?
Oh, Mario Party stealing stuff. Alright, it's Sonic Heroes themselves.
All according to plan.
You've lost the battle before it has begun.
Excellent work as always, Battle. Ready to wrap this up, Sage?
As you planned.
You know what they say, the more the merrier. Showtime!
Oh, they're really digging deep with the cuts. Ganon versus Dracula vibes here. Only Kaiju's left. Sonic Heroes had one of the best final bosses in the damn series. Uh-oh!
How dare you keep your hands off my...
Whoa. Oh boy, Black Hole time.
The Death Egg! Max power!
Destroy a solar system, but he survived black holes. I don't think that's Dead Eggs. No way that could have done it. Knew it!
Curses! Sage! Fire if it didn't! Wait! So long, Doctor!
I figured his survivability and just sheer brutality.
This war was not an easy one to win, which might seem surprising given how the Sonic series is not afraid to show how tough its cast is, while Mario's comes across as more cartoony.
But as it turns out, Bowser had everything he needed to take Chrome Dome down. Strap in, this one's a lot, so we'll break it down into 5 categories.
First up is physical stats. Bowser pretty handedly outmatched any of Eggman's usual mechs, like the Egg Dragoon or the Death Egg Robot.
The Death Egg Robot could level cities. Bowser could punch a castle out of orbit.
The
Yeah,
Death Egg
there
could
was too
destroy
much
stars,
power. Yeah, I
but Yoshi
figured.
could match that level of power, and Bowser's strength is certainly above the green dinosaurs. Plus, while both Bowser and Eggman's tech survived black holes, Bowser's was much larger.
So, he may win stats, but this could change with their powers. With so many items and minions, that could make all that a moot point.
Aside from power-up items, both could manipulate minds, create duplicates, and alter space-time. However, Bowser had a significant edge in having access to the majority of his abilities at all times.
Yeah, Eggman can do some crazy stuff, but only across different mechs, fortresses, or space bases. Bowser's all natural. He's got all his best powers built in, and he ain't even a robot.
Meaning he wins the war of attrition. He even had counters for battle enders like the Metal Virus and Spatial Displacement Trap. Context matters for those weapons, and both backfired in the past. But more importantly, Bowser could simply reverse the effects with his transmutation magic. Conversely, most of Eggman's robots could get turned into, say, a frog or a block with no reliable way back. Bowser takes the edge in powers.
But definitely not for intelligence. Come on, you have a 4-digit IQ, Bowser? Really? That's cute. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bowser's not an idiot, usually. Just really, really clumsy. Poor fella.
Meanwhile, Eggman's an engineering genius who rarely ever gets bested by brains.
Easy dub. Now, let's talk trump cards.
As in, items so powerful they could decide the entire outcome on their own.
The Phantom Ruby was super dangerous, but specifically targets perceptions. Unlike Bowser's Wonder Flower, which mucks up reality for real. The Ruby affected a whole planet, but the Wonder Flower had the power to alter the universe. Also, the Dreamstone's ability to wish anything out of existence would have no problem cleaning up Super Neo Metal Sonic or Time Eater.
Their most prized possessions was a tougher call. Together, the Chaos Emeralds can break the universe, but so can the Grand Stars. Arguably not as much given the Emerald scaling to Solaris, though Power Stars and Grand Stars are far more plentiful. Clearly, this is getting fairly abstract, and both had multiple options that could win the day instantly, so the safest bet is to call this category a tie.
Which means it's finally time to compare their armies. Eggman seems deadlier at first glance. I mean, look at all those buzzsaws and rockets. Metal Sonic's speed and power alone could solo most of the Koopa troop. But the Eggman Empire lacked something Bowser had in spades: teamwork and loyalty.
Eggman is a notoriously terrible team player. his alliances are practically guaranteed to fall apart.
Hell, in Sonic Generations, he could barely manage working with himself.
Eggman's army is designed to be controlled by just him. To Eggman, it's harder to command those with free will, hence his rivalry with the free-natured Sonic.
Meanwhile, the Koopa Troop follows Bowser because they actually like him. They train really hard to cover each other's weak points,
giving them plenty of advantages as this war progressed, like battlefield control through King Boo's magic and Bowser Jr.'s paint. And since the Koopa Troop doesn't rely that much on technology, Sage's hacking potential had little use.
Also, secret weapon? Kamek is kinda busted, canceling Metal Sonic's power copying, stealing the Phantom Ruby, and potentially swapping the Chaos Emeralds were huge game changers.
Add on that Bowser and his army can use any Mario power-up item, and they had billions of combinations that the Eggman Empire just could not actively plan against. Even with Sage's millions of plans to take down the Titans, she thought them to be unbeatable, which Sonic proved was incorrect.
Just comparing their conquests makes it clear. The Eggman Empire took over the whole planet, but Bowser's troop conquered most of the universe.
Eggman was no pushover. His wit, power output, and ridiculous machines gave Bowser the biggest fight of his life.
Catch up on
the
those
Koopa
Mario
King's
games.
ludicrous strength, abilities, and united forces ultimately prevailed.
Eggman tried to poach the king, and now he's cracked and scrambled.
The winner is Bowser.
Next time on Death Battle.
Alright, what do we got next? Okay, this is Among Us versus Fall Guys.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death
boy,
Battle.
this is gonna
Thanks
be
for watching.
nuts.